All right, guys, welcome back. Part 3 of the short-term cause and start of World War One. So just to do a quick recap here, we have the Prince of the Austro-Hungarian throne assassinated in Sarajevo, big-time nationalist area for Slavic and Slavic independence. Uh, Lots of Serbian people involved, lots of Serbian nationalists, and even a Serbian terrorist group involved in that. Austria-Hungary, of course, takes it personal and rejects Serbia's offers of cooperation and declares war on Serbia. Russia considers themselves the protectors of the Slavs, of which Serbia is. Serbia is Slavic. And so Russia starts mobilizing its troops along the Austro-Hungarian border to protect the Slavs in case Austria-Hungary attacks Serbia. Some of their troops also mass along the German border. Germany decides to declare war on Russia. And then Germany doesn't wait to see what France is going to do. Germany declares war on France because of that alliance system. Russia and France are buddies. So Germany and Austria-Hungary are buddies, and so Germany's going to make sure that they just start taking the fight and get a jump on things and beat everybody to the punch. Well, now a curious thing happens with Germany. They attack Belgium. Why? Okay, if we were to take a look at a map of Europe, and we will here in just a second, but if we were to take a look at a map of Europe, we have Germany and Austria-Hungary kind of in the middle of Europe. On one side is Russia, on the other side is France. Well, then there's also tiny little Belgium. Now, when you're any country and you want to knock out your enemy country, you have to capture its capital. Okay? You have to capture its capital, and if you were to take a look at the map of Europe, where is France's capital, Paris? Where is it in relation to Germany? And where is Russia in relation to Germany? The Russian capital is way far deep in Russian territory, hundreds and hundreds of miles. Whereas the French capital, Paris, isn't nearly as far away. So let's take a look at the map. So here's what I'm talking about. We got Germany. The Russian capitals, the major cities, are way over here. Okay? So Germany would have to go all this distance into here to try to get anything worth taking. Whereas if they just go for the closer enemy, they only have to go this distance. And so that's Germany's play. Now, if you're going to go for your enemy's capital, you just want to go for the straight shot, right? Go from point A to point B. Straight shot, capture. Or if you don't want to include or get too many countries involved, they could have taken a southern route all the way this way and then swing back up and take Paris. But that's going to take too long. Germany has speed in mind. They have to move fast because they're surrounded. They have enemies on both sides. So if Germany can knock one of them out, sue for peace, then they can concentrate the rest of their forces on Russia and keep Russia back. So Germany decides for the straight shot through Belgium and even parts of Luxembourg on their way to try to capture Paris, the French capital. So that's why Germany attacks Belgium. Okay, so emphasize this. Why did Germany attack Belgium? Because it was along the straight route to get to Paris, the French capital. Germany wanted the faster route. Speed was the key for Germany. Emphasize that. Speed was the key for Germany. They had to keep from having to fight a two-front war, meaning enemies on both sides. If you knock out one side, then you can concentrate the rest of your forces going back after the other side. That's Germany's play. Now, another interesting thing is that Britain, England, they had guaranteed Belgium neutrality in all of this for two reasons. First of all, Belgium had originally been created as kind of like a buffer country between France and Germany. And this stretches all the way back to the era of Napoleon. But anyway, Belgium is a buffer country between France and Germany. That's one reason. England does not want all-out war between France and Germany because they know that it can very quickly and easily blow up into something much bigger. But here's the other thing, and this goes back to the map. Let's go back to the map really quick here. If Germany is successful in using speed as their ally and taking out one of the two countries that surround them, France is knocked out of the war. What kind of position is England going to be in then to try to take the fight to Germany? They certainly could try it. But now they're going to have German control over all this area, which also means that they're going to control most of the good beach land to try to land on. So if France were to be knocked out of the war pretty quick, that would kind of leave England kind of stranded out there on their island. And then that gives Germany the time and the resources to concentrate the rest of their forces on Russia. Knock them out of the war. Now, all of a sudden, Germany would be fully triumphant, and Kaiser Wilhelm might be able to make good on his ambitions of rivaling and maybe even being better than Great Britain in controlling the seas. That is something that England simply will not stand for. So it is within their strategic interest that France stay in the war. So when Belgium is invaded by Germany, England knows they realize what Germany's play is. And so when Belgium is attacked, England declares war on Germany to make sure that German aggression is put in its place as quickly as possible. So now we have the full-blown alliance system kicked in. We have Austria-Hungary declares war on Serbia. Russia mobilizes to protect Serbia. Germany jumps in to protect its buddy. Austria-Hungary declares war on Russia. Doesn't wait to see what France is going to do. Declares war on France. Now we have France declares war then on Germany. England eventually, inevitably, would have had to be in this war anyway, even without the Belgian invasion. They would have had to be in this fight anyway because of the alliance system. Okay, so we have the Triple Alliance, Germany, Austria-Hungary, Italy, even though Italy hasn't done anything yet. And then we have the Triple Entente. Now, keep in mind and emphasize this, definitely on the test, on the quiz. The Triple Entente was formerly known as the Entente Cordiale. Okay, same countries, Britain, France, Russia. Britain, France, Russia. Same countries, they just changed their name. The Triple Entente. All right, so we got Triple Alliance, Germany, Italy, versus the Triple Entente, Britain, France, and Russia. And so by August of 1914, all the major belligerents, in other words, all the major fighters, were at war. Okay, there's a little bit different map. Shows in green your Triple Entente. You got UK, England, Britain, France, and Russia. And then you have your Triple Alliance, which is Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. All right, now just to kind of wrap up this lecture here, let's just quickly go over the importance of the causes of World War I. Yes, still take this down, all right, and put emphasis next to all of this information. All right, the 4 long-term causes: nationalism, imperialism, militarism, including the arms race, and the system of alliances, all got Europe wrapped up into this big ball of tension, competition, rivalry, distrust, okay, just all kinds of bad stuff. Remember, all those tensions, all that activity, all that animosity just bubbling underneath the surface, waiting for some kind of spark. Well, that spark was the assassination in Sarajevo, and then events just completely started to spin out of control. Now, the alliances that were formed, instead of them being a deterrent to war as they were originally intended, instead, this alliance system, it trapped all of the involved nations into having to back up their buddy. And so by having to back up your buddy, you brought the buddies of the guy you're fighting into the fight as well. And so it's just a big old huge melee. It's basically a big old huge street fight, but just on a continental level. And remember, all of this should have just stayed as a local conflict. An assassination in Sarajevo, an investigation, it's Austria-Hungary and Serbia's problem. But instead, because of all this stuff, these 4 long-term causes, including the system of alliances, instead of it just remaining a local conflict, now it is blown up into a war that will very soon consume most of Europe. Very tragically, most of Europe. And don't forget about industrialization. Okay, industrialization and all those factories and all this mechanization went from making clothing and textiles and machine parts and consumer goods. Now factories were going to switch over to making war materials, bullets, cannons, shells, uniforms, buckles, boots, rifles, okay, helmets, swords, sabers, bayonets, okay, all the stuff of fighting. Now imagine that stuff being mass produced on a scale never seen before to continually feed the war machine in Europe, okay? That is the application of industrialized might to warfare. And just one last thing to keep in mind, all of these prior events caused the hostilities that were bubbling just below the surface in Europe to explode and boil out of control. And so we take a very vibrant, thriving Europe, and they're going to completely and utterly destroy themselves. Okay, so make sure you go back through the video if you need to, get any of the notes that you need. These notes will be due for inspection this Thursday. Okay, so make sure you guys have them ready to go this Thursday. You're going to get most of the period today to get these done. All right, guys, so we will see you for the next one. Take care.